125 per,
What time is the
yeah.
on base?
Unless you're obese, then it's 100. No, I'm not kidding.
Is that what it's in there?
Yeah. And
And it does, it costs
I'm
money.
gonna go to my niece's track meet at 2 o'clock. I'll be good to go.
I've got it.
Good to go?
Good to go.
All right, are we ready? Oh, where's Todd?
Let's talk.
Well, oh, he's over
We're
there.
a talkative group this morning.
Yes, we do. Okay, I think that we'll get started right now then. And so, good morning, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. And we do appreciate your attendance. And for the viewers, thank you for tuning in. For introductions, on my left is Todd Wilchin, Commissioner Deb Shore, and Commissioner Todd Wilchin. And on my right is Vice Chair, Commissioner Larry Hudkins, and Commissioner Bill Avery. And I'm Commissioner Roma Amundson, Chair of the Board. And will you join me now in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you so much. And before we begin the agenda, I just would like to, I noted we have some people who have voted over here, and I would like to encourage everyone who lives in the town to vote today. And so we would appreciate your being involved in that. And do we have anybody out there also who ran the marathon? No, okay. I sure didn't. Mr. Clerk, will you begin the agenda, please?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff, and material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 is minutes, approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, April 28, 2015.
Move approval.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any corrections or additions? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Amundson.
Abstain.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. Next is number 2, claims. Approval of all claims processed through May 5th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve all claims. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a special presentation. Commissioner's Award of Excellence, the April winner, Larry Lieneman, County Engineering, in the category of productivities.
Okay. We have County Engineer Pam Dingman here.
Would you like me to read this first, or?
You can. Come on up.
Larry Lieneman has been selected as Commissioner's Award of Excellence winner for April 2015. Larry works as an equipment mechanic 2 and began working for the county on February 14, 1983. He was nominated by Pam Dingman, County Engineer, in the category of productivity. In her nomination, Ms. Dingman stated, "When it comes to Lancaster County's equipment, Larry is a creative genius. Maintaining Lancaster County's aging fleet requires creativity and resourcefulness. Larry humbly embraces this challenge as an inventive fabricator and welder. Larry is the creator of the very popular magnet drags, which are used to pull nails and other sharp metal objects from the county's gravel roads. These magnets save countless tires on both county and private vehicles. Larry recently repaired one of our bridges by field welding a new plate to the girders, and during our first weekend storm of the season, Larry reported to the shop in order to repair trucks on the second day of snow removal. His efforts kept our drivers on the road. For these reasons, we're pleased to award Larry Lieneman with the Commissioner's Award of Excellence for the month of April 2015.
And I would just like to add a few things. And so I think that the most important thing to note about Larry is he's truly humble. And I think he would really rather not be recognized today and rather have his time at the shop doing his job. But I also think it's really important that we recognize the frontline people who help us clear the roads and maintain our equipment. So Larry is a mechanic, but he's also a fabricator. And Larry would tell you that a fabricator is just a fancy word for liar. which means that Larry actually has a bit more twisted sense of humor than I do as an engineer. And I always appreciate that, Larry. He does make the magnets that we drag on our roads that pick up, and I think in one case, in the area by the Lancaster, by the landfill, we picked up about 30 or 40 pounds of nails in just a few miles. So this makes a big difference to us as the county, when these tires cost $800 to $1,100 a piece on motor graders, as well as to the public, because if any of you have had to replace your tires on your SUV, you know that those can cost $1,100 to $1,200 a set. But in addition to that, Larry makes other custom items. And so recently I had a group from the YWCA touring the county shop, and Larry showed the young ladies a tool and tire rack that he had fabricated for our trucks so that the spare tires could be mounted and tools could be stored in a way where it was easy for our people to access them from the ground rather than climbing in the truck bed or the tools rattling around in the back of the truck, which Commissioner Hudkins can tell you is troubling if you store your nice tools in the truck. But in addition to that, Larry was the employee who welded the plate girder to the bridge on 176 in Waverly Road. And he did injure himself when he was welding the plate, and he continued to weld until the bridge was complete so it could be back open to the public. And I always appreciate, too, that on snow days, and we have not just the snow plow operators out in the field, but we do also experience equipment breakdown when the equipment runs for an extended period of time in very, very harsh conditions. And Larry reports to the shop and helps us out as our backup mechanic on those days. And it's a pleasure and an honor to work with such a dedicated individual. So Larry, I'd like to thank you.
Larry, on behalf of the county commissioners, it's my pleasure to present you with the Commissioner's Award of Excellence for April 2015, not only for your, I think it's an appropriate recognition of your 32 years of service to the county, but also on behalf of anybody that drives on county roads. We have you to thank for, not only for financial costs, but also human costs. I mean, it is dangerous to travel, and so it is a safety issue. So on behalf of Lancaster residents, I thank you for that as well. So thank you.
Larry?
Yeah.
If I could just tag on to what Todd said, you are nominated in the category of productivity, but it sounds like we could have nominated you in creativity or in dedication or even in valor or continuing to weld following an injury. So thank you for all you do for the Engineer's Office and for Lancaster County.
And Larry, thank you so much, too. I guess the one thing that I can say is I do drive those county roads, and I'm really, really grateful that you pick up all those nails. I don't like to change flat tires, so thank you.
Well, Commissioner Amundson, I'm not sure that we get all the nails, but we
get a lot of them.
try to get the most of them. I'd also like to acknowledge that congratulating Larry here today is Bob Jacobs, who is our maintenance superintendent, as well as Mr. Mansky and Mr. Baker, who are district superintendents, and Rick DeBoer from the union is also here to congratulate Larry today.
Larry?
One more moment. Larry, we really appreciate all you do. As Deb said, those of us that are on those roads with farm implements as well as our cars and trucks, the magnets are just an excellent idea. And this just isn't unrepresentative of the Lancaster County Engineer's Office. For years, you've also had hydraulic pickups for the drags. And it's kind of interesting that 3 counties around us now are doing that too. So innovation is nothing new in the County Engineer's Office. And thank you for being a part of that.
Yes, Bill.
Larry, it's rare that government gets to celebrate productivity. So thank you for giving us that opportunity.
Thank you.
Didn't want to come up.
New business?
Yeah, I know.
A resolution in the matter of witness fees paid by Lancaster County which have remained unclaimed for 6 months or more.
Move approval of the resolution?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this resolution in the matter of witness fees. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. B is a special designated license application from Wonderosa Winery at 2361 Woodstruck Road, Roca, for an event on June 20th, 2015.
Okay, do we have, yes, please come on up if you would like to.
Hi, I came today just to let you know I'm still alive out here, and if you had any questions about the event. So,
Wedding, I'm looking at it right now.
this is a private party for a bank in town where I have my loan. They're having their annual employee party out there.
Very cool. Okay, super. Well, that's a great place to have a party.
Thank you.
Well, everything you do out there is first class, and as you know, I've been out there quite a few times and for events, and so I will certainly move approval of this special designated license application.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this license application. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins, Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
4C is a recommendation from the purchasing department and county attorney to award a contract for the transport of deceased persons to Capital City Transfer Service, Inc. The estimated cost is $40,000 per year.
There were some questions regarding whether it really does cost $40,000 a year. I did call Doug Sear real quickly, who oversees this contract for the county attorney, and he says this is right about the average. He was going to send me an email giving all the information for the last several years, but he said that is $40,000 is what it costs. We only had one bidder this year, so it's not a mistake.
And my question would be, do we recoup some of this money from insurance or the families that do have means to pay? I would think this would only be for the indigent, but I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's the case, because these are requests for transport from the county attorney in their position as the medical examiner for the county. So probably it's an official request that we pay. I could check with Doug on that, but certainly this is what our cost is.
I see Sheriff Wagner coming up. Maybe he can shed some light on this as well.
Well, this contract with Capital City are for those cases where the county attorney orders an autopsy, and those autopsies are done in Omaha now.
Yeah.
So
That's that transfer clear to Omaha.
this is the Omaha transfer for those persons that require an autopsy, and so that's where this stems from.
Okay. Thank you.
Doug is sending me what it costs not only for the transports, but the additional money that we pay for the autopsies as well, and just hasn't arrived yet, unfortunately. It's probably stuck in cyberspace somewhere.
All right,
But
well,
may I
yes,
ask,
Bill?
the actual charge is per incident or per transfer?
That's the way the RFP was designed, yes.
Yeah. So we don't know if it's going to be 40,000. Could be 50.
It's a yearly average. We're probably pretty sure that based on past experience, it's a pretty good predictor of future experience, even though they deny that in the stock market. This has been our history, so it's most likely not.
Yeah,
pretty
I know
accurate
that
figure.
if you're obese, it costs more.
That's right.
No? Well, it's in the bid.
Oh, is it in the bid?
It's in the bid.
No.
Yeah, $150 instead of $125.
Okay.
Well, giving that explanation, I would move that we approve this contract.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this recommendation from the purchasing department and county attorney to award this contract. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. D is a contract between Lancaster County and Capital City Transfer Services, Inc. for the transport of deceased persons. The contract is effective upon execution for a 3-year term with the option to renew for an additional 3-year term. The county will pay for the services according to the prices listed in the contractor's proposal.
Move approval.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that we approve this contract. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudgens,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is an agreement between Midwest Floor Covering, Inc., the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the Lincoln-Lancaster County Public Building Commission using cooperative purchasing with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln for floor covering materials on an as-needed basis. Pricing will be pursuant to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln contract. The agreement is effective upon execution through February 29, 2016, with the option to renew for 4 additional 1-year terms.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Midwest Floor Company, City of Lincoln and Lancaster County, and the Public Building Commission.
You might remember Bob Walla talked about this contract. This is part of the entire cooperative
Right.
purchasing, and we were able to save a substantial amount of money due to the volume of carpet purchased by the participating entities.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Let me see, do we have a
Yeah, we moved and seconded, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement then. Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Hudgens,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4F is a contract between Hallworth, Inc., the City of Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the Lincoln-Lancaster County Public Building Commission for the annual requirements of office furniture and related services. The county will pay for the products and services according to the pricing as established in the Fairfax County, Virginia contract. The contract is effective upon execution through December 31st, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this contract. Larry?
And some of the same reasons that Commissioner Shore enumerated. We've wanted to have the systems furniture, the modular furniture purchased from one vendor. It has been bid competitively, but we want that furniture to interchange, so as we move it around, why we can use those component pieces.
Right. Okay, any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Hudgens,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. G is agreement with Gannett Trucking and Excavating for annual requirements of excavating and dozing services using cooperative purchasing with the City of Lincoln. The county will pay for services according to the line item pricing as listed in the contractor's proposal. The agreement is effective upon execution for a term of 1 year with the option to renew for 3 additional 1-year terms.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Gannett Trucking and Excavating. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. H is an agreement with Hanson Construction Company, Inc. for the annual requirements of excavating and dozing services using cooperative purchasing with the City of Lincoln. The county will pay for services according to the line item pricing as listed in the contractor's proposal. The agreement is effective upon execution for a term of 1 year with the option to renew for 3 additional 1-year terms.
Move approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Hanson Construction Company. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudgens,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4I is an agreement with Lincoln Tree Service for the trimming, removal, and general maintenance of trees at the abandoned and neglected Lancaster County cemeteries as listed in Attachment A. There is no cost to the county.
Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Brett Meyer, County Weed Superintendent. I would just like to speak on items I through N real quickly. And these are abandoned and neglected cemeteries that we're having these agreements done on. And I'd like to recognize Lincoln Tree Service, who provides their service at no cost to the county on these, maintaining, trimming up trees and keeping those looking good. Steve Wadey, Terry Briley, Troy Henning, and Jay Nutter in the Boy Scout Troop 64 out of Hickman. Now, I know those folks are the ones that sign the agreements, but they have large groups that help those maintain these cemeteries. So I just wanted to ask for your approval on these agreements and recognize those folks for the work they do for us out there. So
And
any
they do a
questions, I
lot.
can answer those for you.
You bet.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just want to commend in addition to Lincoln Tree Service and the individuals that do provide this service, because it is something that I feel is appropriate. And I think everyone should understand that it's actually, I think, the very least we can do, because I think it would probably cost the county a lot more. And we are very appreciative. And so we want to make it very clear that we really do appreciate their public service.
Yep. I mean, we sign agreements, but I refer to them as our volunteers because I know what they get paid isn't enough. They do it because they have pride in those cemeteries and as a public service to the county. So, yeah, thank them for what they do if you ever see them out there.
Larry?
Again, being very familiar since I grew up in the Waverly area with the Jordan Cemetery, a lot of trees, and after windstorms, are just a lot to clean up before you can even mow out there. So really appreciate Lincoln Tree Service coming in with the boom trucks and the equipment that it needs to clean these things up. And then, of course, the Boy Scout troops and these individuals. These are pioneer cemeteries. Wagon train went through a flu epidemic. One of them, a lot of people were buried in a short period of time there, and the least we can do, as Todd says, is respect these people. And we appreciate the community spirit in maintaining these cemeteries.
And I would just add to that you mentioned an important thing there. These are pioneer cemeteries. Not any cemetery can be designated as an abandoned or neglected cemetery. There is a process to go through. So just because somebody's out there getting tired of taking care of a cemetery that maybe no longer has an affiliation, there is a process to go through on that, and that's how these have been designated by the county.
Good.
So, thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
I would move.
Go ahead.
I move approval of the agreement with Lincoln Tree Service.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the agreement with Lincoln Tree Service. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. J is an agreement with J. Nutter Troop 64 Scoutmaster for the care and maintenance of Deep Cemetery. Cost of the county is $50 per mowing, not to exceed $200 per year.
Move approval.
Second?
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with the J. Nutter Troop 64. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. K is an agreement with Terry Briley for the care and maintenance of Evangelical Cemetery. Cost of the county is $50 per mowing, not to exceed $200 per year.
Move approval.
Second?
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Terry Briley. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 4L is an agreement with Troy Henning for the care and maintenance of Highland Cemetery. Cost of the county is $50 per mowing, not to exceed $200 per year.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Troy Henning. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. M is agreement with Troy Henning for the care and maintenance of Uphoff Cemetery. Cost of the county is $50 per mowing, not to exceed $200 per year.
Move approval.
Second?
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Troy Henning. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. N is agreement with Steve Whittage for the care and maintenance of Jordan Cemetery. Cost of the county is $50 per mowing, not to exceed $200 per year.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Stephen Weddigy. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is a consent item. Receive and place on file the report from the county clerk's office for April 2015.
Move approval of the consent item?
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent item. Please call the roll.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 6, public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
We have no students here. We have no students. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave my glasses off if you guys don't mind. See, I don't know any of you. And somebody, here, I'm Terry Pope Gonzalez, so start the time. Somebody sent me a doodad that pokes in the computer to tell me stuff about all you guys, which was a little bit more than I wanted to know. See, when somebody's not from the neighborhood, okay, I'm not even from Lincoln, Nebraska. You don't know who the players are. I didn't know, we call him
Okay,
Pelot.
Mrs. Gonzalez.
No, listen, let me finish. It says I can talk, okay? This is about my property. The property that I gotta pay taxes on, this is baby sister's blood. That was Saturday. Cost me $252 because a truck going up and down the road 7 feet from my property put a rock in her eye. Okay, so no, this is about my property and we're gonna listen to me. Or we're gonna go on national TV and listen, okay? Because I guess it's up on the internet that everybody thinks I'm in the witness program. Well, guess what? I'm not, okay? And 2 big functions happened in this town in the last couple months. The spring game, I had a house full of people because yes, I have ties to the NFL. Yes, I do. Lots of ties to the NFL. All right? Second, somebody said, okay, so of course the internet has to blow up. So the train people come to town. I got to hear about it because guess what my nickname is? Train. And it's not sexual. It's because I get a head of steam and guess what? You don't shut this one down. So now I've been quiet for a long time. So I had to come in yesterday. All kinds of ugly, because somebody called me and said, get in there to save that little girl. So I had to yell at the city council. You know why I have to yell? I can't hear because the mess that the city put my neighborhood in. I can't hear. You and I can't sit at my kitchen table and have a conversation without us yelling at each other because it's so loud. So this city and this state and this county can have that concrete. All right? So I don't want to yell at anybody. I'm just putting the record, I am not in the witness program. Yes, my husband's name is Moon. And yes, he is mean as all get out. You come to my house, he's not gonna speak to you. You wanna speak to me? Come to my house. I'm 349 South 1st Street. Now, if the big boy is out, please leave him alone because he won't even acknowledge that you're standing there. He doesn't care if you have a badge and a gun either. He doesn't care. He was born in Lincoln, Nebraska, in that house we own, April 3rd, 1953, that now is worth nothing. But yet I have a mortgage on it. So no, I'm not paying my taxes to you. And I'm teaching all my neighbors to protest them too. And you know where I learned that from? You guys. I sat and watched it on TV because I got poisoned because of that concrete company. So now I'm on crutches. Now I gotta stand up here. I gotta act a fool in front of everybody. I got relatives from all over the world calling, saying you're looking like Charlie Manson's mother. You know what? I'm tired. I wanna be able to sit on my front porch. I wanna be able to come, you know, if you come see me, guess what? I want you not to get sick, not to have to go get an inhaler, not to go to the hospital, not to have your eye where I gotta spend $252 because you don't have it, okay? I'm tired. I am not just tired, I'm sick and tired. The little boy Gabe, okay, was he killed on a county road or is that a city road? Because guess what, his grandma said, Mama T, can you go in there? So she knows me from Mama T. She doesn't know me from the Ice Queen. Yes, my brothers are big, bad, and ugly. And guess what I do for them in the old days? I come in and recoup losses. I show up, guess what? People lose their jobs. In my day, it was called a headhunter. And I was redheaded and I was little bit. I was 50 pounds butt, 50 pounds boob, and the mouth was free. And I showed up and guess what? Things get shut down. So I don't want to be the one to come in and say, I got some big, bad, ugly brothers. And I think you, young man, I don't know, I can't see anybody, I really can't. Okay, I can see what colors you have on. Only reason I'm pointing you out, I think your mother and I sat somewhere where she was having something printed for you, okay, when you did your election stuff. And this young lady, only because I remember your name is kind of like my mother's maiden name. And you, young lady, I have to give you respect. I was told the chairperson give respect. And so, before, he was the chairperson, right? Mm-hmm. And so you could just kind of switch. I don't want to come to these meetings. I want to sit home. I want to maybe have some grandbabies over.
I want to have some coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee. It stunts your growth. I should be 5'10", you know. But listen, no, I got 6'6" brothers, real brothers from the same mom and dad. I am the runt of my litter. Do you know what that means? What did I say before? 5 is a quorum. Anything over 5 is a litter. That comes from my dad. He's a rancher, okay? So what, and it's a rancher. And I heard you were in trouble, okay? Somebody made sure they showed me. Okay, my mom is a farmer. Her dad was a farmer. They come over on the wagon train stuff. So we all still have stuff in common. Stick your tongues out. You're more than welcome to stick them out at me. What color are they? They're pink. What color is my tongue? Pink. So we're all the same. That's all I want to say. I'm not in the witness program, so please stop saying it, okay? Thank you for your time. And I did not mean to cut you off. I just have somebody waiting. And he said, I want you to go in there and I want you to say word for word. I said, I can't see. How am I going to say word for word what you want me to say? So anyway, this has taken up a lot of my time. So please, somebody, let's start getting this figured out before the real uglies have to come to town and the real uglies show up here with a brigade of attorneys. Because where I come from, this place is full of people. Every single meeting, whether somebody talks or not. So anyway, thank you for your time. Am I done?
Yeah.
Am I done? Am I over? Okay. Do I have to do the rules, right? So I have to sign my name? Okay. Do you want me to spell it? Okay. Okay. And I'll be back up here at the Board of Equalization because we're going to talk about how come I have to keep paying taxes on a property that I can't use, on a property that, you know, you can't even have breakfast at my house. Do you want a phone number too? It's 402-499-5716. And we're Tuesday, the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Do you know what time it is? How? 11, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for your comments.
Oh, this is your pen. I don't want you guys to think I stole it.
Ain't democracy beautiful? Gary Aldridge, Lincoln, Nebraska. Participatory democracy is a contact sport, but you gotta know when the game is played to participate. If it's news in Nebraska, it's news to the Journal-Star. Author and circumstances unknown. The Journal-Star prints, usually in Section D, in an area titled Calendar, quote, events that serve a public purpose and are open to the public, end quote. The calendar is a public service, not a public notice. On 16 April, the board staff met in room 113, this building, at 0830. That meeting occurred only in the imagination and or fantasy and or ink of the Journal-Star newspaper. The board, at a regular meeting on 14 April, in announcements, states clearly, at least to me, staff, quote, will not hold a staff meeting, end quote, on 16 April. One may say, with little fear of contradiction, the Journal-Star was not accurate, was not truthful, was not precise. To be blunt, that notice in the Journal-Star on its face was false. Sometimes it is sufficient excuse or apology to say mistakes happen. Sometimes to say mistakes happen is not sufficient excuse or apology. The Journal-Star does not speak for this board or board staff. The Journal-Star was not accurate because what the Journal-Star printed was false. Action taken by Journal-Star personnel was neither diligent or precise. On 17 April, I talked by telephone with Jeff Korbelik. Korbelik, it seems, in very tiny print, top right, page 1D, is the go-to guy for Section D comments and questions. As observation, I offered to Korbelik that information on the board staff meeting was neither accurate or truthful. Korbelik sounded disinterested. Perhaps this indifference was Korbelik blaming the board for not meeting at the time and place printed in the Journal-Star. Following the conversation with Korbelik, I talked by telephone with Gwen Thorpe. I thought this was a story board personnel should hear. How or whether the board, individually, collectively, executive, or administrative, addresses the misinformation in print is your decision, your responsibility. Keep several things in mind. Incorrect information on a board meeting was also printed in February. I experienced some discomfort because of that incorrect information. Journal-Star personnel told me that board meeting information is taken from the board website. I now have diminished confidence in this explanation. These events present a recurring pattern of sloppy work or mental constipation at the Journal-Star. The default setting established by the Journal-Star for staff meetings will always be Thursday, room 113, this building at 0830. If the board, for whatever reason, chooses not to challenge the Journal-Star, the board then becomes, in part, culpable. You accept part ownership of these mistakes. The board and staff routine is occasionally unroutine. A public body has no obligation to meet on a certain weekday at a certain time. By law, a public body shall give advance notice of time and place of each meeting. This notice shall be transmitted to the public. When and or if the meeting schedule for this public body does change or meander, be proactive. Cover your butt, CYA. Talk to the Journal-Star calendar people. Perhaps then, news in Nebraska will not be news to the Journal-Star.
Well, I thank you for your observations.
Next is announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, May 7th, 2015 at 8:30 a.m. in the Bill Luxford Studio of the County City Building. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold their next regular meeting on Tuesday, May 12th, 2015 at 10:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building, with the Board of Equalization immediately following. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live. It is rebroadcast on Tuesday and Saturday on 5 City TV, cable channel 5. In addition, the meeting may be viewed on the internet at lancaster.ne.gov under 5 City TV video on demand or 5 City TV on YouTube.
Move adjournment.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned, and we now open the agenda for the Lancaster County Board of Equalization.
The Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk's staff. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Also in attendance this morning is Scott Gaines from the county assessor's office. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approve the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, April 28th, 2015.
Move approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting. Any additions or corrections? Please call the roll.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin.
Yes.
Abstain.
Motion carries 4 yes, 1 abstention. Number 2 are additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
Move approval of the additions and deductions.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the additions and deductions. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Hudkins,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a public hearing, motor vehicle tax exemption applications for Benedictine Sisters, Capital Humane Society, Connecting Point, Church of the Nazarene, Innovative Blood Resources, and the Salvation Army.
Okay, we'll now open this public hearing regarding the motor vehicle tax exemption applications. Is there anyone speaking in support of these exemptions?
I think you guys should do the exemption. Aren't they all like I was on the Salvation
We'll
Army
need,
board.
we'll need to swear you in.
Oh, you need to swear me in? Okay. You want
Do
to
you-
swear at me?
Do you
Swear me?
solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes. So help me God. Okay, now I can talk. I just want to say, if there are exemptions and there are places that do good things, help them out. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Isn't what my taxes are supposed to do? I was on the Salvation Army board for a lot of years with Major Boone. You guys just didn't know who I was. So I know the inner workings and the inner details. I really have been here since 1996. I just was not supposed to be front and center. I was supposed to be able to come back, not have the world know who my brothers are, come back with my husband, who is a third husband, who, yes, I won in a poker game, okay? Just so if we're gonna get it out there. And guess what I won him on? A pair of twos. He's worth $1,200. I got cuffed because now I'm a 125-pound thigh. So yeah. So, but listen, I'm trying to get along with everybody. I really just want left alone.
Okay.
And I want the mess to be good.
So
All right?
you are speaking in support of these exemption applications?
Sure.
Okay, great, thank you.
And thank you for correcting me.
Is there anyone speaking in opposition to these exemptions? Anyone in a neutral position? Okay, we will close the public hearing, and
I would move approval of the exemptions.
Second?
it's been moved and seconded that we approve these exemptions. Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 4, notice of taxable status for this. This is the City of Lincoln doing business as Lincoln Electric Systems.
Good morning, Scott Gaines, Deputy Assessor, Register of Deeds. These are 3 parcels that LES has acquired for a future service center. In the meantime, they are going to continue to be farmed, and there's 2 houses on these properties, one that will remain rented through the end of the year and another one that will remain vacant. But the LES is not going to use it for the public purpose until at least 2016.
Okay.
So these are notices to notify them it'll stay on the tax roll.
Okay, great, thank you.
I will move approval of the status change.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the status change the status on taxable status change be recognized. Boy, that's tough to say. And is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Wilchin,
Yes.
Avery,
Yes.
Hudkins.
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 5 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to County Board of Equalization business not on agenda may do so at this time.
I just want you guys to explain this to me. I don't internet, ever. I even gave my computers away when my father-in-law got killed. On this here, it says tax roll voucher list, Lancaster County Board of Equalization, May 5th, 2015. Then it says the voucher. I don't know what PID means. And my brothers will teach me that. But when you come over here across the top, then this thing here doesn't say what this is.
Okay, if I might make a suggestion. I know that this isn't the time for, excuse me.
That's
This
fine,
isn't
teach
the-
me, teach
yeah,
me.
Yeah, this isn't the time for public comment.
Okay.
And and if you have comment to make, then this is the time to do it. If you have questions about this taxable list status, we have Scott Gaines immediately back there. He is works with the county assessor, and ask him to explain that to you, because he can do that in a great deal. Scott Gaines. He's right.
G-A-I-N-S?
Yeah, and he's right back there in the
I
corner.
can't see.
Oh, okay.
So,
Scott? Okay.
And, I'll go find him. I just don't like being treated bad by the staff.
No, that's fine.
And that pisses me off, and then I get mad.
I
So,
don't think that you will be.
Okay.
And so please go back there and visit with him, and he will be able to explain that in great detail.
Okay. Do I need a Freedom of Information Act?
No.
Do I need that?
No.
Okay. I don't need that.
No.
Okay. Thank you for your time. And you, tell me,
I
Roma?
am-
Roma?
Yeah,
Is that your-
Roma
I-
Amundson.
like I said, I really can't see. I really can't, and I'm really bad with last names. So, okay, thank you.
You bet. You have,
Move we adjourn.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Please call the roll.
Wilchin,
Yes.
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 Avery,
Yes.
Amundson. Motion carries 5-0.